How'd you come about, Sébastien, and finding out about this facility? And was it like another mission you had to do, or?
Yeah, so from James, my SSP contact, I was able to know more about the mountain and the facility and what was happening within it.
Why do you have an SSP contact in the first place?
Well, through the work I was doing as a remote viewer, I automatically got involved in some missions that kind of intertwined with the CIA and the SSP, because some of these agents were working some close missions. So that's the reason why those agents were able to talk to certain SSP agents, and some of them are also working for the CIA and some other agencies. So they already know each other by name.
Right.
So when they mentioned, I said, yeah, I work for the SSP. Like, it would just come up in a discussion, and they won't elaborate. They won't go into details unless there's a reason for it.
How many hybrids do you think are out there in this program, or that the program released since the 60s?
I believe it's in the thousands so far. But for what I understand, it's more and more as time goes by. Because I think deep down what the SSP wishes to do and what other programs wishes to do is to have a full integration of the alien race within the Earth, so we can have a better acceptance for whatever technologies that they can bring forward as part of our new reality.
Yeah, integration, a great word. I'm glad you used that. And why do you think they're doing that?
To help us evolve, which is not a natural way.
Right.
But unfortunately, we are also faced with potential challenges of whatever is in the cosmos that we are not prepared for. And the SSP knows about those beings, and so they want us to be prepared and safe.
That's very positive. So they want us to integrate and have a safe transition, what you're saying.
That's correct.
So, there are these hybrids that we're aware of that actually come from either a human or a hybrid mother, where the eggs are manipulated before the baby in vitro gets, doused with whatever for the mutation. Is there a connection between this organic process and the SSP hybrid program?
Yes and no.
Okay.
So some of these hybrids are, like we talked about, made or enhanced on Earth. And some others are produced in space and then brought to Earth.
Wow. And there's a facility the SSP has up there in a mothership or something, or is it on the moon?
Not the SSP, no.
Okay.
The Krueger Group does.
The Krueger Group has one.
Yeah. On the mothership, it's done in space. It's not done on a physical location. And I remote view those.
Oh.
Yeah.
What'd you see on that mothership?
Those beings were tall, gray aliens, and they were white.
So they were gray aliens that look white?
Yeah.
Okay. With
and
a big
tall.
head and
they were tall. Yeah. Yeah. No, those, I will refer to them as scientists. Their sole job was to experiment on abductees and taking some of the stuff from them to produce those hybrids. So it's a very nefarious program in a way, but those beings are working in line with the Krueger organization to bring those hybrids back on Earth. And that's very novel in a way. Not novel, but it's different from what the SSP does.
Right, I see what you're saying.
Right.
Is there any joint work? Is it just those tall whites that are doing it? Or are there other extraterrestrials involved with that?
I don't know about that.
Okay.
All I know is that the SSP does conduct their own experiments, but they don't abduct people through spacecrafts to bring them into space. That's not their job. That's not what they do.
So you talked about the SSP hybrid program, the Krueger hybrid program. And I've had a lot of guests on here, talking about an ET hybrid program. Tell me, what do you think about that, and what's the agenda between the three?
Yeah, I don't think that the ET program per se exists.
Okay.
I think it's all related to the groups, organizations on Earth, because it's easier for them to work with humans to integrate those humans on Earth, or those hybrids on Earth. It doesn't make any sense for me to have just an ET race coming up with their own hybridization program and then sending off those random hybrids onto Earth by themselves with zero affiliations whatsoever with anything. Why would they do that? Who would they respond to, work for?
Right, there's
no link to anything that's already on Earth. Those ETs know about the SSP, they know about the Krueger organizations. Why would they want to be singled out and coming up with their own program to send hybrids on Earth. It makes zero sense to me.
So the hybrids, humans or extraterrestrials, all these beings are they working for the SSP? Are they working for Krueger? What's going on?
They choose. So we talked about a galactic federation or alliance. Those beings are part of the same group. So they therefore help a certain group of people on Earth based on the technologies that they are currently using. So it's all to do with reverse engineering programs. And then the Krueger Group have been working with the Dracos. It's very complex because to that extent, there's some kind of worshipping going on there. Because the Dracos want to be worshipped and perceived as gods and, ever-seeing and overpowering. And that's what they do.
They do.
But they try to give some leeway to the people that they work with. So they try to still make them feel important and so on. And then there are some other groups who are, I would say, like newer groups that are, aware of the Earth and decide to contact certain members of the government or these sort of things. They don't really understand the affiliations with the Galactic Federation or Alliance with Earth, and so therefore they're trying to make their own contacts, sometimes with individuals too. And then, when they start talking about their own experience, they say, well, you are like an experiencer, and, we don't really understand where you come from because, you have your own set of characteristics and channeling going on that we don't understand. It's new to us, but that's completely different from what is currently, happening.
So we have ETs that are working with the military, working with corporations, working with governments, and individual contacts as well. So they're reaching out. They seem to be everywhere. But what is the agenda and who's really the top dog on the pyramid controlling this?
Mm-hmm. Well, I would just compare it to what we know best.
Yes.
You've got two major parties usually fighting one another. Right? And then you have the independent parties and so on. The ET scene is pretty much the same. If I can just summarize it that way, it's much easier to understand because the smaller groups would be like contacting the people individually. They would contact members of the government or corporations. Those are the minor leagues. And then you have the SSP and the Krueger organizations, which are the top dogs of the Earth and the beings that they are working with are definitely on top of the food chain, let's say, and they are the ones to control what's happening next.
You mean the Draco and serpents? Anunnaki?
On the Krueger side, yes.
Oh, okay, on the Krueger side?
Yes.
What about on the SSP side?
That's more the Pleiadian side.
That's Pleiadian?
Yeah. Okay.